That was beautiful. Thank you, thank you. Our last presenter is Amanda Dargan, who has run educational programs for City Lore, which if you don't know about them, you should check it out. She's been working with students and cultural wonders of New York City for decades. Amanda.
Well, speaking of decades, when my husband and I first moved to New York City, and I grew up on a farm in South Carolina, so this was a big deal for me. Sorry, the wrong one. Sorry. So my husband and I moved to New York City many decades ago, and to become folklorists for the Queen's Council on the Arts. And one of the first artists we met was the wonderful artist who's going to get the next award, Lubow Wolynetz. We were so impressed with her artistry, but we were also so impressed with her passion for sharing her artistry and teaching others. One of the first events that we presented her was the Queen's Festival, if any of you remember that, in Flushing Meadow Park, with 1 million people on a hot summer day in a tent with no air conditioning. And Lubow was just gracious and wonderful to everyone who came by, no matter their age or their background, for the entire day. And we were just reminiscing about that, and she reminded me that my husband and I had to bring our little baby along, and we set him up under her table so that he could just play while she was presenting, and he's now 34 years old. So it was a long time ago. But what impressed us about Lubow is she really understood the value of maintaining traditional arts for everyone, but in particular for immigrants and refugees who've really been taken or lost their original home of origin, and the value of maintaining those traditions here as a way of maintaining your identity and your connection to your culture. And she's been really a teacher throughout her career. She's now the curator of the Folk Arts Division of the Ukrainian Museum, where she's worked since it was founded, and continues to work there and continues to teach. She honors her own teachers. She was in a displaced persons camp after World War II. And she was taught by one of the teachers there how to do these beautiful Ukrainian embroideries. And she also learned from her mother there the value of these for maintaining a tradition, because she grew out of her embroidered Ukrainian shirt while she was there. Her mother was so distressed because it's so important to keep your embroidered shirt, that she gathered pieces from all the people in the camp and created a shirt for her. So Lubow has continued to, I think, teach people of all backgrounds about the value of their own traditions as well as her own, and it's a great honor for me to see her again and to introduce you to her. Thank you.
Good evening, and thank you so much. When I was first approached about this award, I felt I didn't quite cut the bill, but they convinced me I did. And so I'm really very proud and humbled. And I think the most beautiful and most precious connection that I can say is that Clara Lemlich came from Ukraine, and I came from Ukraine many years ago. Preservation of a heritage of anyone's, your own or other, is utmost importance, especially if you're a 6-7-year-old child and you see your heritage being destroyed. Something stirs you, it leaves a mark for your whole life. And then I was lucky enough, when we lived 4 years in displaced persons camps, I had a wonderful teacher, and she inspired me even more. She made us learn not only about our heritage, but embroidery. And even the boys in our class had to learn that too. She was sure that they would become acquainted. When I looked and read through all of the formidable accomplishments of so many today's special people and many years before and so on, and sometimes you wonder, what is it? Is there a formula for activists to act, which they act upon, or is it something that just comes out naturally? And a long time ago, and one of the American Library Association conferences, I heard this words of wisdom, and by paraphrasing, and I think this is the formula that activists sort of knowingly or not knowingly live by and work by. And it goes like this. Be mindful of your thoughts, because your thoughts will become your deeds. Be mindful of your deeds, because your deeds will become your habits. Be mindful of your habits, because your habits will become your character. Be mindful of your character, because this will be your life. And be mindful of your life, and you will leave a legacy. Thank you.